Hello all, let's discuss windows. Here is the definition. A window is an area of the screen, usually rectangular in shape, defined by a border that contains particular view of some area of the computer or some portion of a person's dialogue with the computer. It can be moved and rendered independently on the screen. A window may be small, containing a short message or a single field, or it may be large, consuming most or all of the available display space. A display may contain one, two, or more windows within its boundaries. These are some of the characteristics of window. Windows seem to possess the following characteristics: a name or title, allowing it to be identified; a size in height and width, which can vary; yes, a state, accessible or active or not accessible. Only active windows can have their contents altered. Visibility, the portion that can be seen. A window may be partially or fully hidden behind another window, or the information within a window may extend beyond the window's display area. A location, related to the display boundary. Presentation, that is its arrangement in relation to other windows. It may be tiled, overlapping, or cascading. Management capabilities, methods for manipulation of the window on the screen. Its highlight, that is the part that is selected. Okay. The function, task or application to which it is dedicated. There is a concept called attraction of windows. Let's discuss. The value of windowing is best seen in the context of a task or job. A person performs a variety of tasks, often in a fairly unstructured manner. A person is asked to monitor and manipulate data from a variety of sources, synthesize information, summarize information, and recognize information. Things are seldom completed in a continuous time frame. Outside events such as telephone calls, supervisor or customer requests, and deadlines force shifts in emphasis and focus. Task, start, stop, and start again. Materials used in dealing with the task are usually scattered about one desk, being strategically positioned in the workspace to make handling the task as efficient as possible. The spatial mapping of tools helps people organize their work and provides reminders of uncompleted tasks. As work progresses and priorities change, materials recognized to reflect the changes. The appeal of windowing is that it allows the display workspace to mirror desk workspace much more closely. Okay. This dramatically reduces one's short-term memory load. One's ability to do mental calculation is limited by how well one keeps track of one's place, one's interim conclusion and products. And finally, the results. Windows act as external memories that are an extension of one's internal memory. Windows also make it much easier to switch between tasks and to maintain one's context, since one doesn't have to re-establish one's place continually. In addition, Windows provide access to more information than would normally be available on a single display of the same size. Overwriting or placing more important information on top of that of less importance at that moment does this. Single screen technologies support this work structure very poorly, since only one screen of information can be viewed at one time. Comparing or integrating information from different sources and on different screens often requires extensive use of one's memory. To support memory, a person is often forced to write notes or obtain printed copies of the screen. Switching between tasks is difficult and disruptive, and later returning to a task requires an extensive and costly restructuring of the work environment. These are some of the uses of Windows. Presentation of different levels of information. Information can be examined in increasing levels of detail. A document table of contents can be presented in window. A chapter or topic selected from this window can be simultaneously displayed in more detail in an adjoining window. Deeper levels are also possible in additional windows. Presentation of multiple kinds of information is one more use of window. Variable information needed to complete a task can be displayed simultaneously in adjacent windows. An order processing system window could collect the customer account number in one window and retrieve the customer's name and shipping address in another window. A third window could collect details of the order, after which another window could present factory availability of and shipping dates for the desired items. Significant windows could remain displayed so that details may be modified as needed prior to order completion. Low inventory levels or delayed shipping dates might require changing the order, sequential presentation of levels or kinds of information. Steps to accomplish a task can be sequentially presented through windows. Successive windows are presented until all the required details are collected. Key windows may remain displayed, but others appear and disappear as necessary. Thus, this sequential preparation is especially useful if the information collection process leads down various paths. An insurance application, for example, will include different types of coverage. A requested type of coverage might necessitate the collection of specific details about the type of coverage. This information can be entered into window presented to collect the unique data. The windows disappear after data entry and additional windows appear when needed. Access to different sources of information. Independent sources of information may have to be accessed at the same time. This information may reside in different host computers, operating systems, applications, files, or areas of the same file. It may be presented on the screen alongside the problem, greatly facilitating its solution. For instance, a writer may have to refer to several parts of a text being written at the same time, or a travel agent may have to compare several travel destinations for a particularly demanding client, combining multiple sources of information. Text from several documents may have to be reviewed and combined into one. Pertinent information is selected from one window and copied into another. Performing more than one task can be performed at one time while waiting for a long, complex procedure to finish. Another can be performed. Tasks of higher priority can interrupt less important ones. The interrupted task can then be resumed without the necessary to close down and restart. Reminding is one more use of window. Windows can be used to remind the viewer of things likely to be of use in the near future. Examples might be menus of choices available, a history of path followed, or the command choices to that point, or the time of an important meeting. Monitoring. Changes both internal and external can be monitored. Data in one window can be modified and its effect on data in another window can be studied. External events such as changes in stock prices out of normal range conditions or system messages can be watched while another major activity is carried out. Multiple representations of the same task. The same thing can be looked at in several ways. For example, alternate drafts of a speech, different versions of a screen, or different graphical representations of the same data. A maintenance procedure may be presented in the form of textual steps and illustrated graphically at the same time. There are some constraints in Windows system design. Let's discuss. Windowing systems, in spite of their appeal and obvious benefits, have failed to completely live up to their expectations. In the past, Windows user interface has been described as chaotic because of the great amount of time users must spend doing such things as painting at tiny boxes in window borders, resizing windows, moving windows, closing windows, and so forth. The problems with windowing system can be attributed to three factors: historical consideration, hardware limitations, and human limitations. Let's discuss historical consideration. Historically, system developers have been much more interested in solving hardware problems than in other considerations. Since technical issues abound, they have received the most attention. There has been very little research addressing design issues and their impact on the usability of the Windows systems. Therefore, there are few concrete window design guidelines to aid designers. This lack of guidance makes it difficult to develop acceptable and agreeable Windows standards. While many companies have developed style guides, they are very general and limited in scope to their product. Standardization is also made more difficult by the complexity and range of alternatives available to the designer. Without user performance data, it is difficult to compare realistically the different alternatives, and design choices become a matter for preference. Standardization of the interface is also inhibited by other factors. Some software developers who are proud of their originality see standards as a threat to creativity and its perceived monetary rewards. Some companies are very wary of standards because they fear that other companies are prompting standards that reflect their own approach. Finally, some companies have threatened or brought legal action against anyone who adopts an approach similar to their own. The result is that developers of new system create another new variation each time they design a product, and users must cope with a new interface each time they encounter new windowing system. Hardware limitations. Many of today's screens are not large enough to take full advantage of windowing capabilities. As a result, many windows are still of post-it dimensions. As already mentioned, there is some evidence that many users of personal computers expand their windows to cover a full screen. Either seeing all the contents of one window is preferable to seeing small parts of many windows, or the operational and visual complexity of multiple windows is not wanted. Also, the slower processing speeds and smaller memory sizes of some computers may inhibit the use of windows. A drain on the computer's resources may limit feedback and animation capabilities, thereby reducing the system's usability. Poor screen resolution and graphics capability may also deter effective use of windows by not permitting sharp and realistic drawings and shapes. Human limitations. A windowing system, because it is more complex, requires the learning and using of more operations. Much practice is needed to master them. These window management operations are placed on top of other system operations, and window management can become an end in itself. This can severely detract from the task at hand. In one study comparing full screens with screens containing overlapping windows, task completion times were longer with the window screens, but the non-window screen generated more user errors. After eliminating screen arrangement time, however, task solution times were shorter with windows. The results suggest that advantages of windows do exist, but they can be negated by excessive window manipulation requirements. It is also suggested that to be truly effective, window manipulation must occur implicitly as a result of user task actions, not as a result of explicit window management actions by the user. Other limitations. Other possible window problems include the necessity for window borders to consume valuable screen space, and that small windows providing access to large amounts of information can lead to excessive bothersome scrolling. Where to? In spite of their problems, windows do have enormous benefits and are here to stay. So we must cope with their constraints for now, and in the meantime enjoy the benefits they possess. Thank you.